Ladies and gentlemen, here it's Mr. Z. We will learn today how to add a fraction that do not have the same denominator. So we call that unlike denominator. Okay, so we will spend time. Hopefully, at the end of this session, you will understand how you can add a fraction that do not have same denominator. All right, so we're gonna get the first example. That we're gonna get 1/3 plus, we'll call this 4, then we'll call that over 5. Okay, so we will learn how to do this, and then we will try different approaches. You will understand all of them three, which one that you feel comfortable with. That's why you're gonna stick with it. So the first approach right here, the first approach on this division right here, it's to go ahead, multiply 3 and 5. All right. So I'm going to put right here, I multiply 3 and 5. I put 15 over there. And I put 15 over there. That's the first step. You multiply 3 and 5. I multiply both denominator. So I put a plus. My plus sign come from there. Now I'm gonna work my first fraction, which is 1/3. I'm gonna get the denominator of the second fraction. I'm going to multiply to the numerator of the first fraction. So I'm gonna get a 5 times 1. That give you 5. Then I'm gonna work now the second fraction. I'm gonna get the denominator of the first fraction multiplied to the numerator of the second fraction. So 3 times 4, that will give you 12. So we learned in the previous video, when you got denominator that have a same, we have a fraction that have a same denominator, you're just gonna add the top. So right here, we will have a 15, we will have a 17 over 15. So 17 over 15, what kind of fraction is that? It's improper fraction. As a consequence, you have to convert that. So right here, you will have a 15. 15 is gonna go to 17 only one time. The remainder is 2. All right? That's one way to do that. Let's use the same exercise, and then we will do that the different way. We have 1/3 plus 4, 5. Now, the second way, the second approach how to do this right here is to get this numerator right here, this denominator, we're going to multiply that to both part of the first fraction. And then we're going to get the denominator of the second fraction. We will multiply that to both part of the second fraction. So let's go. So we're going to get 5. So we're going to get 5 right there, times 1. All right. And I got again here 5 times 3 plus, now I'm gonna get now 3, then I'm gonna multiply that with the 2, the both part of that fraction. So I'm gonna get a 3 multiply by 4, then I have again a 3 multiply by 5. So when I do that, the first fraction, I'm gonna have a 5 over 15 plus, then I'm gonna get a 12 over 15. That's the same as the first approach. Okay. So the second approach is to get the numerator. You get the denominator of the second fraction, multiply that with the top number of the first fraction and the bottom number. So we are making them equivalent. We found the equivalent of that fraction. So the second step, you're going to get the denominator of the first fraction multiply with the numerator of the second fraction and the denominator of the second fraction. So once you do this right here, you will end up with 17 over 15. What kind of fraction is this? It's a mixed number, so we'll end up with 1. If you do not understand how do we go from this improper fraction to a mixed number, I would strongly suggest that you watch the video that go over what type of fraction and another video how to go from improper fraction to a mixed number, or the other video that go from a mixed number back to improper fraction. Okay. Now, the third approach pretty much is the same thing. So we're going to get 1/3 plus 4/5. So we have to find a least common denominator. So in some instance, the least common denominator right here, it's 15. So it's a number that can be divided by both 3 and 5, and then the remainder is going to be 0. So I have a 15 there. Now I will do 15 divided by 3. The answer that I gave, which is 5, then I multiply by the top number. Okay, 15 divided by 3, 5. 5 times 1. So I'm going to have a 5 over there. Plus a sign. Then I got 15. 15 right there. As we say, 15 divided by 3, you got 5. 5 times 1, 5. I got 15 divided by 5. I got 3. 3 times 4, I have 12. So I will have 17 over 15. What kind of fraction is this? This is an improper fraction. So we'll convert that to a mixed number. So you will have a 15 over there. And 15 go to 17 one time, and the remainder is 2. This is how easily you can add a fraction that do not have the same denominator. Okay, so I hope now you understand how you can easily add a fraction that do not share the same denominator. All right, so we may do couple of exercise, and then we will let you ask a question if you have one. Okay, let's do a couple of exercise. Let's try this 3 exercise right here. So you have a 3 and 8. At this time, you have to figure out which approach you want to use. So we're going to work all those 3 exercises with each one of these 3 approaches. Okay. All right. So the first one, we're going to do the first approach. So we'll do our plus sign in the middle of it there. So now we're going to multiply 3 and 8. That gives you 24. We put the 24 over there. All right. Now we're going to do 24. You see, it's right there. So from there, we're going to get the second denominator. We're going to multiply that with the numerator of the first fraction. So what we are trying to do here, we do straight multiplication with the denominator, and we do cross multiplication. Between the denominator, we do straight across, and between the fraction, the numerator, and the denominator, we do cross multiplication. So we got 3 times 8 to 24. Then we're gonna work the first fraction, multiply by 8. So we got 2, the numerator of the first fraction, multiply by the denominator of the second fraction. When I do that, I got 16. Then I'm gonna 3 times 1. When I do that, I got 3. Now, when you have like denominator, fraction that have the same denominator, you're just going to add only the top one. So you're going to keep the bottom one. So this, it becomes 19. 19 over 24, what kind of fraction is this? It's a proper fraction. So nothing we're going to do about it. We leave that like that, okay? So let's do here. So now we're going to use the second approach. We're going to get this denominator right here. We're going to multiply that to the numerator and the denominator. And then we're going to get this denominator. We're going to multiply that by the numerator of the first fraction and of the second fraction and the denominator of the second fraction. Okay? So let's go and do it. So we're going to get a 5. So we're going to have 5 multiply. My bad. So we got 7 right there. You are go, Mr. Z, Mr. Z. Yeah. So we're going to get 7 times 2. All right. And then we got 7 times what? 5. Plus, now we got 5 times 4. Then we got now 5 times 5 times 7. Okay. So once you do that, which one you have? You got 14 over 35 plus 20 over 35. All right. So we will have now 34 over 35. What kind of fraction? This is a proper fraction, nothing to do. We leave that alone. Let's use the third approach for the third fraction. So the common denominator of 5, the least common denominator of 5 and 4 is 20. It means that is the least one that can be divided by 5 and 4, and we're not going to have a remainder. So the remainder will be 0. So from here, I'm going to do 20 divided by 5. It gives me 4. 4 times 6, it gives me 24. I got 20 divided by 4, it gives me 5. 5 times 1, it gives me 5. So when I add that, I have 29 over 20. What kind of fraction 29 over 20 is? It's improper fraction. So we're not going to leave it like that. How many times 20 is going to go into 29? Only one time. So what is the remainder between 20 and 29? It's 9. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we learn how to add a fraction that do not have the same denominator. I hope at the end of this session, you have understood how to add a fraction that do not have the same denominator. Please, if you have any question, feel free, put in the comment section, okay? Once again, don't forget, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and share some of your friends. Call them. Tell them, hey, come on, let's study with Mr. Z. This is how you can understand. Those simple concepts can make sense for you. All right? Be blessed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.